So I moved things around in my apartment. That's why my background looks different. Same spot, just the furniture is moved. Let me talk to you about answers and confirmations. So there always comes a point in time when you are doing these kind of like motivational, inspirational type of thought processes where it can get weird to some people. So let me start surface with you. Yesterday morning, I woke up, I was on the floor, I was drained, I was tired of not feeling that way. That's why I started to do my whole month of March to look for energy and to revamp, and I call it Maximize March. So when I was thinking about doing like my own personal challenge, I just was like looking for positive words that start with M. I actually had to, because I was like mix up, mixer, no, that's meltdown, because I was all like I was gonna have a meltdown March if I didn't do something differently, right? So I just looked up words that start with M, positive words that start with M, and then today I turned on YouTube video by somebody that I follow, and they use the word maximize. They always have had the slogan maximize the moment, but I had completely forgot about it. You know what I mean? And I say this to tie it all in. It goes with the idea of what you're feeding your mind, as well as answers and confirmations. I do not chatter a lot about my personal life to anyone that knows me, that does not work with me or go to church with me. I just don't. And that's just where I am. I'm not saying that I never will. And of course I do it with you guys here. Work with me, church, and these little blurbs that I do here on YouTube. And that's it. Because I'm at a space in my life that a lot of people will not understand because they're not walking it with me. They're not living it with me. I don't have a lot of close friends where I live at. You guys know that I relocated here, and it's a whole totally different mindset. My ex that I came with, he relocated back to Florida. The guy that I'm talking to, or was kind of like loosely talking to, he's talking about going back home because this is a hustle and bustle urban city. It will wear you out, so your energy is important. So here I am feeling low and stuff like that, and I needed to go to church and get some word. I ended up going to a church that some of my coworkers go to, and I didn't know how to label what I was feeling. I was even afraid to even talk about it in the video, and I forgot what I had said, right? And as soon as I get to church, the whole thing was it's a war. He used terms like adversary, and I go to a very positive, uplifting place, and that's my need in life, is positive and motivational. But there is a space in life where you do have to recognize wars and battles, and to me that's when it's too heavy to carry. And just hearing the word war and overcoming and adversary and pressing through in adversity really rang something in me that was like a bell, like ding dong. I am trying to la-di-da through life like it's a normal day when I am really in a mental and spiritual and physical battle. Physical battle because my blood pressure is higher than ever. I get like tightness in the chest. It's not a panic attack. I can go check my blood pressure and the machine says go to the emergency room right now. That's not made up. That's real. Mental battle because sometimes I get so mentally drained that I can barely hold a thought together. I can't even tell you how I make it home sometimes. Like I literally feel drunk without even having a drink because my mind is like all over the place, like just scattered from what I do for a living. And then a spiritual battle because it's so heavy. It should be easy to fix my blood pressure and to fix my weight and to concentrate and to meditate. It should be easy to get rid of those things, but it's something heavier than that. So just to hear it, just to put that nugget in my mind to say, not only do you have a spiritual life, but you do go through spiritual battles and spiritual warfare is what they used to call it back in the old days. And then so this morning, that was just church yesterday. I'm so full because this morning when I turned on to an old, like last month, I'm calling it old, last month, T.D. Drake's sermon, and he says the word maximize, and the message is all about impact. And I had a conversation, and I had the conversation yesterday with my coworker where we were talking about pride because on the way to church, I heard scripture about Peter. In church, it was about Peter, and Peter had a thorn in his side. And the idea that his downfall was haughtiness and pride. And I think that thinking that you are a bottomless pit that can do it all is a sense of pride. My coworker said she had to think about that and unpack that because if you think that you can take it on, then you're not really leaving room for God or anything else in your life to come in, even if that be a mate or a spouse or a parent or a friend to come in and help you because you have made yourself all powerful. And that is why pride comes before a fall, because that's where I am. I can sit up here and physically exhaust myself myself until I'm going to faint and be in the emergency room and having a stroke, and I have accomplished nothing. So I had to stop myself from listening to the T.D. Jakes sermon about impact, because I mean it is ringing so many bells with me, and that just drives home my point. I believe in confirmation. I believe in answers. I don't believe that you have to tell it to the world what you're searching for. If you tell it to the one that matters, no matter who or what you call that one in your life, I call that one for me is God. It is Christ. It is something bigger than myself. It is something that has been here and will always be here. If you tell it to that source in your life, I do believe you will get your most true answers. And like for me right now, I'm still like trying to unpack some of the like message that I just heard. I haven't even heard the whole message. It's like the whole concept of, would God call you to things that you're not good at? You know, God has called people to really